Hey y'all, it's Katie and welcome back to my channel. Today is day 9 in our series on how to train for Deka if you don't have the equipment for it. And today's all about zone 9, the tank. So let's go. So in this video today, we're going to be specifically talking about strength and cardio, how to improve those for the tank, but we are not going to be talking strategy here. So if you're looking for strategy specifically, check out this video here, I got you. But diving right into strength today, we're going to talk about 2 different aspects of the tank, the push and the pull. So obviously the easiest swap you can make with a tank is to find a sled instead. That's funny. If you don't have a specific torque or Zybex tank, that's okay. You don't have to have something with fancy magnetic resistance and wheels on it to still get a good push workout. So you can do the sled that you would normally find on turf, maybe in a CrossFit gym, and of course loading that sled up to a challenging weight similar to what you'd find in Deka. I went ahead and linked a helpful article from Torque down here in the description so that you can kind of find where that would be based on the magnetic resistance on the Torque tank. But if your gym was like mine when we first started Deka, we didn't have a tank or a sled, so what do? So if you've been watching this series, you know I love some good heavy compounds, and a really good one that translates into the push here is a front squat. If we load up the bar on those front squats, it's going to activate those quads and glutes similarly as the push on the tank. And a couple other ways to train your push is, of course, everybody's least favorite leg exercise, Bulgarian split squats. They're your least favorite because they are so good for your quads, glutes, all of the above that you need for the tank. So while they might not be fun in the moment, they will help you down the line. And of course, another fantastic one that translates really well into the box is you doing single leg step-ups with dumbbells. So obviously focusing on control on the way up and the way down here so that we control that movement speed and get a really good muscle burn. So we've trained one side of the tank, now let's switch to the other. Let's look at the pull. And this is my #1 favorite exercise to practice the pull because it is so dang similar to how you'll actually feel when you're on the pull in the tank. First up here is backwards walking with a cable. So you'll put the cable medium to low on the rail so that you get that feeling of pulling from the base of the tank, and then you'll walk backwards with 2 handles just like you would in an event. And make sure you reset nice and slowly too, because especially once you start loading up that cable, then you'll want to sling back forward, so you have to control coming back in with the cable as well. But as you're walking backwards, it's going to feel very similar to the tank, especially once you start loading it up. And if you were gonna guess our next one was a heavy compound, you are totally right. I've got 2 for you. We've got barbell deadlifts and barbell hip thrusts because those are fan-freaking-tastic for your backside. And the tank pull is all about the posterior chain here, so we want to work the back of the legs, the hamstrings, and the glutes so that we can really find power and push out of every single step. So we know how to get stronger overall on our tank, but remember, this is zone 9 in our Deka race. So by this point, you're gonna be pretty gassed cardio-wise, and training that cardio piece while you're under this extreme load is going to be key. So a couple of my favorite ways to train the cardio piece here is #1, some compromised running. Especially if you're doing a Deka mile or a Deka fit, this even applies to high rocks. So there are several ways to do compromised runs, and it looks a little bit like a Metcon because here we would do some sort of heavy loading for the legs, and then right away, once your legs are fatigued and compromised, then you would go for a run. So that might look like some heavy deadlifts followed by a 400 meter, or maybe some heavy front squats followed by an 800 meter, whatever that would be for you in your training cycle and whatever you're prepared for. So my next 2 for cardio go hand in hand here. #1 is on a treadmill, finding a large incline and going at a brisk walking pace. So that might be a 15, an 18, or even a 20 on the treadmill, up to you. And the second one here is to do the stair climber. And again, finding a moderate pace on the stair climber. And on both of those, if you wanted to add a little extra resistance, you can even find a weighted vest and wear that. Both of those are gonna give you a great leg burn and some really great cardio too. If you have any suggestions on how to train the tank, then drop those in the comments below. And if you enjoy Deka videos like this, you'll love my email list. So I send out weekly Fit Tips emails on hybrid training, everything from training, recovery, to race day tips. So make sure to check that out. The link is down in the description to subscribe. And thank you so much for staying to the end of my video. The YouTube algorithm absolutely loves that, and it really helps my channel when you do that. So I appreciate you. Other than that, I will see you guys in my next video. Stay healthy. Bye.